rid of me, you just have to change your channel. So I got a new vehicle. I have a new computer. I don't have all my information. I need to look up the disclosure. What's it? Disclosure. Disclosure. Wait, what is it? The fair usage, right? Yeah, I know it collects cookies and I hate it. This is going to be a video if I ever get to it, but I don't think it. Oh my gosh, it's her birthday. Nobody's here. Good. I'm going to tell you something important, but I got to find something. Okay. I have a new computer. I need my disclaimer. I'm going to tell you something. If I ever find my disclaimer, deceitful. There we go. This video is for educational purposes. I found it. All right. I found what I'm looking for because I need a copy. The copyright on here. Where's Word? Just give me Word. Microsoft. Word. Save as. All right, so I have to put this up. And then I'm going to talk to you about programmers. I'm officially coming forward on two names. When the fat pig in the tutu stole my Stortsville address so he could get Social Security, I spoke to the police department about the fat pig in a tutu stealing my address. But back during that time, I was so upset that I dropped a couple of names of programmers that I had in the dumps. And there's only two names. Now, you guys already know Joseph Mangley. You already know Douglas Riggs. Right? I'm coming forward to give you two more names. But let me do this in my own manner. Okay? Let me do this in my own manner. Let me put my disclaimer up. I'm going to show you a video. And then I'm going to talk. All right, where's Holly Baglio? I'm going to show you a video. People are getting mad at me. Where's the video? No, it's not. No. Where is it? I really like that guy. Hang on one second. I'm going to delete his video. That's the maps. This is it. I found the video. You ready? I got my disclaimer up.
For my legal name.
Ready?
Name, which is on my birth certificate of Felix.
Hang on a second. Can I start it over?
Which is on my birth certificate of Felix. I was born in 1916. The best that I've been able to determine from my own memories and what comes up, 4 August 1916. I was born Edward A. Cameron, and then in 1917, I believe 15 May, this guy was born in his original body, Duncan Cameron, or whatever they called him at the time. And we were born into a family with considerable amounts of money, not really wealthy, but they were well off. And we didn't hurt for money. We didn't hurt for the means for an education.
Yeah, you didn't hurt for little kids either.
School, he wound up in the University of Edinburgh, or Edinburgh, Scotland, according to his readings. Took a PhD in physics in 1939. I, in the meantime, went to University of Princeton, bachelor's and master's degree, and so far as I can determine, again, in memories, took a PhD in physics from Harvard in 1939, both of us in the summer. It was arranged by our inimitable father, who had a great deal of influence in the Navy and apparently political clout in various sections and parts of the government. We do not understand how he got these connections. We don't know anything about them. There are no documents to show this. He himself served in the Navy in World War I, apparently as an ordinary recruit, did a 20-year stint, retired. At what status, we don't know. Again, the retirement papers are missing, the separation papers. We do not know whether he got involved in intelligence or not, but it would appear that he did because of the subsequent events. He didn't work, from everything we know from that point on. He had money from the family, and he became an ardent admirer of sailboats and decided to build his own. He built one, raced it, took some trophies, would sell it and build another. In between, he was traveling back and forth to Europe, and as I've been previously mentioned, he became involved in the smuggling of German scientists to the U.S. This ceased in 1939 when the Cold War turned to a hot war. But he had connections. We don't know how they were obtained, where they went, but it was determined that the two of us would become part of this project. When we finished our education, we were invited to join and to enlist in the Navy. We were both given commissions, September 1939. And we then did about 3 months at Provincetown, Rhode Island Academy, naval officers. In those days, they did the so-called 90-day wonder business. But we were already fairly well prepared. We didn't go through a novel or something like this. And then we were sent to the project. But we did a lot of shuttling back and forth as part of our job. And one of the reasons why we were chosen was that the Navy wanted 2 people to represent their interests and keep full tabs on what was going on in the tests and the development of the program.
Oh, yeah, they
technically
did.
Competent to report in detail what was going on. And there was also another aspect of this involved, that aside from Tesla, who did not have a good formal education, he started out in 1979. His father died, and his first year in the university was terminated, and he had to go to work. He came to the U.S. in '84. He had enormous insight, and incredible intuitive insight.
I'm getting to something here. Maybe this might be why I've had an attitude this morning in my past couple of videos. I am defensive, but I'm getting to something. Bear with me. This is a big moment for me. This is when I get a set of brass breasts. Keep watching. This is important. I'm talking to you about my programmers.
And solved his problems in that manner very competently.
That's one of them.
Even more important, the so-called Levinson time equations. With that as a background, they were able then to go on and develop the whole system of the Visibility Project as applied to it.
You know what? I can't wait because I can't listen. Blah, 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 blah. I feel like I'm in a Charlie Brown cartoon. That's one of the programmers. He drove a 4-door car. Was it blue? right? Oh, yeah, he hurt the kids. Then you got Preston Nichols, right? He had a van, a school bus, yellow school bus. Those are programmers. Those are white lab coats. You people flock to Al Bielek and Preston Nichols because of their science. Do you know what Al Bielek and Preston Nichols did to the kids like me? Do you know what it was like to go through Montauk? I tried escaping Montauk and I brought about 7 other kids with me. It was that bad. All the dumbs were that bad. Who am I kidding? I did escape out in Texas, but I was successful with that escape. You guys want to know all the juicy details? Finally, I'm giving all the juicy details, and there's 0 people here. I'll remember that. When all you guys want sensationalism, I'm not going to talk. This is one of your programmers. Preston Nichols was another one. I told you about Joseph Mangley. He created me. Douglas Riggs was in the dumbs too. The other programmers I fear for my life, they are still alive, and I'm scared to death they will come and terminate me. That's why I've not given you their names. But if we talk in private, yes. And there's only 2 more names that I can give you. Now, there's other faces in my head. I can kind of explain those faces, but that ain't going to do any good for you to identify them. Al Bielek, he had a 4-door car. He kidnapped the kids. Okay. Preston Nichols. When I was a little kid in Montauk, I tell you about a programmer that had me tied up in a van. I was begging for my life. I said, I'll do anything. Let me go. Don't put me in front of the radar. Let me go. And there the fat guy, Preston Nichols, is sitting there with a sandwich, slobbering on himself. I get off in science. Oh, no. And he put me in front of that sage radar. And you know what hurts? I came on the scene publicly August 2016, 1 month after they assassinated Max Spears, who I was also trafficked with. I should have reached out to him, but I was too much of a coward. All I had to do was press send on the emails, and I didn't. Now, I'm not the best email writer. I tend to fall apart and talk too much. It takes me a lot to reach out. And I never did with Max. What hurt me coming forward to the public was watching not the people. Okay, let me be specific since I had 2 previous videos that were rough. When I'm saying you, I'm not talking to you watching me. I'm talking to the people out there, and I'm sorry for my rough wording. I watched as all these people in the public flocked to Bielek and Nichols, all because of their science, all because of time travel. And not once did you guys ever consider their victims. All the public ever cared about, and all I ever saw was you guys flocking to Bielek and Nichols over their science, treating them like they were princes and like they did something significant to better humanity. That hurts. I had to sit there and bite my tongue. Oh, Preston Nichols, he loved those little boys. Loved them. And so did all the other white lab coats. As a girl, I got sodomized because all of them were faggots, pedophiles. Howie, you can't say that word. Why not? I was raped by them, and your tax dollars provided the means for it to happen. Yeah, we the people's tax dollars. All you constitutionalists, I'm not sure what you're fighting for, but it surely ain't me. What, you guys are fighting for their science? You flock to their science. Oh, listen, he was born in 1912 and somehow he has a different body and somehow he time traveled and oh. But what about the kids they hurt? What about the kids they raped? What about the kids they snuffed? What about the kids they sacrificed? What about me? You guys want Preston Nichols and Al Bielek? And there's some names, boy, they're on the tip of my tongue. I really want to say them, but I'm not gonna. You guys want them so bad? You can have them. You want their science so bad? Then you keep paying your tax dollars and you keep giving up your babies. Let's watch the man that you want so bad. You want his science? You think it's so great? Yeah. To have his science, you have to sacrifice kids. Or you don't get the information from the fallen angels. You have to give something to get something. What, in Preston Nichols, one of his testimonies, oh, well, there was a gun put to my head and either I kidnap the kids or I get shot. Eat the bullet, Preston. Eat the freaking bullet. Because I'm one of the kids that got hurt. But I just had the misfortune of living through it all. So don't you tell me I don't know my husband, Yahuwah. I got a wedding date, December 12, 2014, and there's police reports to confirm that I'm married to him. I also have my ordainment certificate. You guys that say you love Yahuwah, where's yours? Where is it? Don't you dare talk to me about him. I know him. And I also know that you guys support people like Bielek and Nichols long before you ever support the kids that they killed for their science. This is so great to you? Well, let's watch it. Just know when you look in his eyes, he didn't care what he did to the kids, just so long as he got success in his science. Come on, let's watch the programmers. I mean, they got the fat wallets, they got the power, they got the money, they got the friends, they got the support. They got you guys flocking to them. So let's watch them. Let's watch the programmers. Come on. You're all so fascinated by it.
A large part object.
Just know what you're looking at when you look at these people from now on.
Vice Admiral Albone Sr., who was the then director of the Office of Naval Engineering, which was abolished in 46, but he was in charge of all of the research work for the Navy. He told us, gentlemen, you may as well know, we will be at war with Japan within 48 to 72 hours. We expect to lift Pearl Harbor. You're not going back there. You're too valuable. So we're going to leave you in San Francisco until your tour is over, which is the home base for the Pennsylvania. You do office work. You can enjoy some leave time. He says you might as well enjoy it because when you go back to the Institute, there'll be no leaves and there'll be nothing but a lot of work. So we did.
But you'll get a lot of little kids to rape and put in front of the SAGE radar and ruin their lives so they can grow up to be adults just like me who have nothing going for them. Well, that was until I found you, Yahusha, and you made something of me. But if I didn't find you, Yahusha, I wouldn't have had anything. I wouldn't have been anybody. Yahusha, you saved me from this. You got me out of this. And you explained it to me. And you made me whole, Yahusha. I'm so angry. I'm so angry the public loves these people and then ignores the real victims. Or better yet, when someone like me survives all this stuff, people out in the public tell me how they could have done it better and how they wouldn't be smoking cigarettes and dropping the F-bomb right now if they had gone through the cages and the dumps, because they're just so perfect and they can do things just so much better than Holly Baglio. Meanwhile, they wouldn't have been able to take 2 seconds in those cages. let alone try to escape. First time I didn't get away. Second time I did. Whoever that medicine man was and that junior Indian, wherever they are, I give them my blessings because they helped me. So that's one of your programmers. This is one of the bad guys. This is not one of the good guys. He was not a victim. Neither was Nichols. They were not the victim. They were the predators. They played victim. Remember Christopher Garantano's movie, Montauk Chronicles? Yeah, I kind of screwed up with him because he asked me to do a project with him and I said something publicly and then he kicked me off the project because I said something publicly. But it was about me and my testimony. Of course, I was going to get excited, so I screwed that up. It was my own fault. Okay, so I'm not perfect. Anyway, Christopher Garantano did the Montauk Chronicles. Don't you guys ever believe these damn programmers. These programmers sit there and go, growing up, I was different than all the other kids. I was so scared of the dark. I had to have my mom or my brother and sister sleep in the same room because I'm scared of the dark. I was victimized by this. They're lying to you. They were the programmers trying to play the victim. They're the bad guys. When you watch that documentary, you are not looking at any of the victims. You are not looking at the kids in the cage. You were looking at the predators who perpetrated the crimes because they loved their science and did not give two flying flips about the kids like me. You know how bad him and Bielik and Nichols, the damage they've done? Let me tell you a story. So I'm 50, right? I turned 50 September 12, 1974, 8:18 p.m. Yeah, well, when I was a little kid, Bielik and Nichols used to kidnap the kids, bring them over to Montauk, traumatize and torture them, lock us in a cage, rape us, starve us. It was fun. Your tax dollars went to supporting it, and they still do. Your tax dollars go to supporting things it should not be supporting. Anyway, so they kidnapped the kids. I remember them. I remember one day at school, I was walking to the nurse's office, and there's Bielik's car parked right in front of Liberty Corner School in Liberty Corner, New Jersey. Parked up a little bit, but near the entrance. And right then and there, I started blacking out. Okay. I was in grammar school? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, well, last summer, I was 49 years old, and I was walking to the store. Well, one of my friends saw me walking to the store, but I didn't know my friend's vehicle. So as I'm walking to the store, and I kid you not, I was right by the cop shop. I'm on the cop shop property, walking past the cop cars, the cop shop, the donuts, the cops, and I'm walking through this parking lot out to the sidewalk and then down the road. And as I'm approaching the sidewalk to get on the sidewalk and then follow the sidewalk, all of a sudden this car pulls up in front of me and stops. All I know is there I am, back being a little kid, 7, 8 years old. And there's Bielik and Preston coming to get me to take me to Montauk. And I'm not going to say the other programmer's name. There's a third one, but I'm not going to say his name. We'll call him SS for Super Snake. So last summer, my friend sees me walking to the store, pulls up and stops. But I didn't see my friend. All I saw was the programmers coming to get me. And I just started screaming, literally, outwardly screaming and backing up. And I went to run, like turn around to run. Because once the car pulled up, the first thing I did was start running backwards. And I started to scream. And when I went to turn around to leave, I happened to glance back. And that's when I saw my friend's face, because he had rolled down the window, and I saw his face, and I was like, oh my God. Oh my God, it's you. Oh my God, it's you. Thank God it's you. And I calmed down, and I slowly walked over to the car, and I got in my friend's car, and he drove me to the store wherever I was going. After that, I learned my friend's car. I learned his plates, his car, everything, so that way I'd never forget it. But I'll tell you, when that happened, a few days later, he called me up and he goes, Holly, he goes, you know, I've known you for a few years now, and you've told me your testimony about the DUMBs. He goes, but I didn't see how bad you had it until that day I pulled up next to you on the sidewalk. When you saw me pull up, you took 2 steps back. The look on your face, Holly. Oh my God, Holly. He goes, then you started to scream and turn to run. He goes, oh my God, Holly. When I pulled up to you that day and I saw your reaction, I saw everything they did to you in the DUMBs. And I'm so sorry. He goes, that day, everything clicked. He goes, what the hell happened to you? I'm your friend and I can't even pull up next to you. And that's when it dawned on him. That's what Preston and Bielik would do. And I've been holding this inside and holding this inside and holding this inside. And I'm done holding it inside. And that's my story. That's my story because that's what I lived. So yeah, my head's always on a swivel. You pull up next to me, I'm going to think you're Bielik, Preston, and that Super Snake dude coming to take me to the DUMBs. I'm running. There'll be a time to stay and fight, but that ain't the time right now. Yahuwah tells me during that 7-year tribulation, that's a time to run, not a time to stand your ground. He even says it in the Bible. And that's how I've been affected. And now I'm publicly coming out to say these names. And I'm going to stick with it. There's other programmers and handlers that I've had. I'm not naming them. They are still alive. They're still alive. They will come back and terminate me. I'm not telling you their names. Now, even though Bielik and Nichols are dead, there's still a lot of connections to these people. I'm coming forward to let you know that that's one of the predators. Preston Nichols was another one of the predators. There, I've given you 4 names. Don't listen to these people. Don't listen to people that are like them. If you want to know something, just take a knee and go to Yahuwah. And if he tells you no, then the answer is no. But Yahuwah will show you everything you want to know. He's here with us now. But these are the programmers. As far as the Navy, yeah, my papa was on a minesweeper ship in the Navy during World War II, and Papa would come home and tell Grandma how the Navy would give him and the other soldiers LSD and other drugs just to see what it would do. My Papa was a part of these human experimentation projects, and he had no idea. I want to give interviews talking about my testimony from the dumbs. I know on my personal channel I talk a lot about Yahusha, but that's my life. I want to give my testimony about the dumbs. I want to put your feet in my shoes and try to explain to you what it was like, how it felt. And, you know, if you were to ask me why they do this, I'm only going to give you my answer. I'm not going to give you the answer that everybody else gives you on YouTube or these churches or people that study MK Ultra. I'm going to give you my opinion and what I've seen. Why? Why did they create me? Create these humans? Because they want their own race of human beings. It's all about control. You and I play with Barbie and Ken dolls. They get Nazi mastermind scientists, create a human in a lab, and then they go and play with that human. They create their own concubines, drug runners, secret service. They create, it's the same as, okay, this is how I connect the dots. Remember Nimrod? He turned himself into a mighty man. What did they do to me? They turned me into a mighty man. I have Anunnaki DNA. And I look good, don't I? I look just like you and I. Or just like you and your friends. 5 fingers, same size as you. And Mangley did a nice job, if I don't say so myself. I got a nice hourglass shape. A little too skinny, though. But can't have everything, right? And of course, I'm going to have these type of issues. I come from the dumps. You know, the type of chemicals and substances they put us on? And then once I was in my 20s, somebody asked me, what branch of the government were you on? Okay, I'll tell you. Project Mannequin, Project Ibis, Project Looking Glass, Project Seagate, Project Alpha, Project Beta, Project Delta, Project Gamma, Theta, Psi, Phi. What do you have? I've heard of all these different. I was born into it. I went through them all. So Black Operations, Project Seagate. Black Operations, Project Mannequin. Black Operations, Project Ibis. I was on projects. That's what they used me for. It's to set up a second race of people. You know, they say certain DNA types will open up stargates. I don't know if it's true, but sure, I would love to get my hands on Commander Casball and put him next to a few Seagates and see if it works. Because I know he's got Anunnaki DNA. No, not me. I'm scared shitless. I'm chicken. I'm yellow-bellied. We'll go get Commander. He's a strong, brave man. He's not scared of that stuff. So I think this is to set up a second race of humans. I think there's certain DNA types that can, I don't know, maybe withstand some of these frequencies that I'm going to say it wrong, but when you're in Montauk going in front of the radar, I think only certain genetics could really handle that. I'm not sure. The spirit realm is real. The spirit realm is more real than this physical world, but people get so caught up in this physical world, they can't see out of it. Like, can you imagine the day? Like, if they use Project Bluebeam, they say, you know, Buddha will shine in the sky over there, and over here, Jesus will shine in the sky. And then you'll have like all these different deities shining in the sky. And they say, oh, well, if you believe in any one of us, you all go into heaven because you still get to the top of the mountain wherever you start out. And that only works with martial arts. Doesn't matter what martial art you take. You start at the bottom of the mountain, whether it's karate, jujitsu, taekwondo, kung fu, or whatever. You all start at the bottom of the mountain. When you get to a grandmaster, I'm talking grandmaster, not black belt. I'm talking grandmaster. When you get to be a grandmaster, you're at the top of the mountain. And it doesn't matter what martial art you're in, you're at the top of the mountain. Whether, say there's 10 of you and you all have different martial arts, once you get up to be a grandmaster, you're all at the top of the mountain. That's it. You're all at the same level. You all got there. That's it. Didn't matter how you got there or which style you took. You still got to the top of the mountain. You still became a 9th degree black belt, which is grandmaster. It doesn't work like that when it comes to our faith. Whichever religion you're in, just so long as you believe you're going to get in heaven. It does not work like that. The fallen angels gave us different religions. Then their offspring gave us these different denominations. Stop with all of it. Those things don't save you. Those things actually will doom you to hell. So I don't want to get back into preaching. What was I saying? Something else I was saying. Genetics. If you got Anunnaki DNA in you, okay. There was a couple years ago, a girl reached out to me on Facebook Messenger. Now, it does not always happen like this, okay? Sometimes I got to talk to you. Sometimes I got to see you in person. It's at his will. Anyway, this beautiful girl reached out to me. Thin, long blonde hair. Anyway, I get this message from this girl, and I could not help but notice her messages popping off the page. And it was only written. I didn't even talk to her. And this was what was so great to me. Well, anyway, she had asked me something about Max Spears. And immediately, with her message popping off the off the Facebook page at me, just like highlighted, and her message popping up at me, I had a vision. And I see this thin girl, like I'm thin, but not skinny, but she's just thin, blonde hair, kind of long, which I recognize that to be her actual physical body on earth. Because your spirit body, it looks like a body, but just you're all color. It's different. Different, but the same. But anyway, I recognized it to be her physical body. But then all through her were stars. She just had stars, like all through her body. Like when you go to like Egypt or these temples and pyramids and you see these entities inscribed on them, I think it's in certain temples where like you'll walk into a temple and there's just like a room. It's just got an entrance and then 3 walls. It looks like a square box. And it's like, what the hell is this for? But if you look at the inscriptions on the walls, you'll see that they have beings that have stars through them. Okay. So when I had this vision, this girl had stars through her. And I was like, you're a bloodliner. I'm not talking about a bloodliner like you come from one of the Bilderberg families, that kind of wealthy bloodliner, like preferred stock. I'm like, you're a bloodliner. You got, for lack of better words, you got, you're Nephilim, lady. You're like half human, half Nephilim. You got stars through you. And she goes to me, boy, you really cut to the chase. I was like, I'm not trying to be rude, but I got to be honest. Your message is popping up off the page. And I have this vision and you just have stars all through your body. You're not human. Or, well, you are human, but you got something else going on with you. And her and I dived into a conversation and she asked me if I had known my bloodline. And I was like, yes, I actually do know. When I woke up, I knew where I came from because I got my memories back. But then second to that, when I woke up, I bumped into some people. Anyway, they reconfirmed with me my memories. So I was like, yeah, Thoth bloodline. And she goes, yeah, I'm Callie. I was like, oh, wow, Callie? Wow. All right, cool. Like, it's really great to meet you and Yahusha Barukas. And if you ever need me, I'm here. So that Anunnaki DNA, I don't know, like, with the projects I come from, I'm a created human. And it wasn't like there were hundreds of kids. It was a small group of kids. I'm not saying that we were the only group of kids that were created humans, but the ones I was created with, I was also programmed with and sent. Who's at my house? Oh. I gotta wash the dishes. I'm not. Okay. All right, sorry about that. Who's at my house? It's not my house, it's the homeowner's house. What was I saying? All right. Abba tells us not to chase genetics. And I'll tell you something. I think I know why. Because I've fallen down the rabbit hole of genetics and I never meant to chase them, but I did look into them. And I think I found one of the reasons why he tells us not to chase after genetics. It goes to our heads. It goes straight to our heads. You chase your genetics and your background, you find out you're related to somebody famous, it goes straight to your head. I know people that run out and get a blood test from 23andMe, find out they're a Jew, and it goes straight to their head. It's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Just because that blood test says that you're a Jew, it doesn't mean that you're from one of the tribes. It doesn't mean that your Yahu was chosen. It just showed you your blood type. That's it. Slow down. Yahusha was Hebrew, not Jewish, and he did not speak Yiddish. He spoke Hebrew. And what Jewish people speak today is Yiddish, like half Yiddish. I don't know. Like, there's like a lot of people online that say they're a bloodliner, but they don't have stars going through them, and I can see it. Like that one chick, Safi, running around saying she's a bloodline. No, she's not. She ain't a Rothschild. And she's not from one of these families that's mixed up with the Bilderbergs or the Illuminati. But I think that it's all about the projects that I come from. I think that it's all about spitting in Abba's eye, creating their own race of human beings and doing what they want to do. You know how Yahuwah, YHWH, the Tetragrammaton, it's in our DNA ladder. YHWH, I think the numerical value is 10565, right? And Yahusha, our savior, is YHSH. That's written in our DNA ladder, and that has a numerical value of 10535, right? So that's actually Yahuwah's calling card. Like every master painter has always initialed their paintings, right? Artists always put their mark on it somehow. Well, that's what Yahuwah did to our bodies. So these projects that I come from with the human experimentation, I'm a created person. Some Nazi mastermind scientist in a lab stitched together some genes, then implanted the embryo in my mother's womb. I was traumatized while she was pregnant with me. And that's when my programming started. I was traumatized so bad that when she delivered me, I was born breech. I was bent in half. My butt came out first. And if you're a created human, you will have gone through the same thing I've gone through. That's a marker. And a lot of people who say, oh, I'm a created human, just ask them if there were ever any delivery complications, and guaranteed they're going to say, oh, no, that was fine. I was delivered 9 months later, no problem. All right, you're not a created human. You didn't go through these projects like I did. Had you gone through the projects like I did, you would have been traumatized in your mother's womb, and there would have been complications during the pregnancy. You would have been born breech. The other kids I was with, they were born breech too. They traumatize you in the womb. It sets you back in real life. Like when I was born, I had learning disabilities. Schools would put me in core classes. I was slower than the rest of the kids. And what didn't help was I was a daydreamer. I was always daydreaming out the window. I had no idea why I was even in school. I didn't need it. For what? How about you show me everything? All I need is you. And to hear you. To hear you, recognize your voice, and stay on point. So, like, all right, like Project Ibis, right? Project Ibis. Oh, and then you have Messiah programming, where they beat you and crucify you and make you think you're the Messiah or a Messiah. But then in Project Ibis, project I went through, they made us think we were angels in human bodies. No, we're not. We're a spirit being in a flesh temple, but we're a human being. And when we die, human beings do not transform into angels. We are not angels in a human body. Anybody who says we are an angel in a human body is mind control. They've been exposed to it, whether TV, video games, or online, or they went through a project, who knows? If anybody tells you that we're angels in a human body, they're giving you the wrong message. Now, when I was deprogramming from Project Ibis, because from 2014 to 2022, all of my deprogramming is up online. Abba told me to put my recovery process up online. So I have, and I'm still here because this is a part of my calling. And a lot of people have stolen my testimony, taken things from my recovery, and then turned around and made a video to fool you guys, to make you think they were trafficked too. And then you guys are giving them your money, your friendship, and they never went through anything I did. I don't know why I'm not good enough for some of you guys, and why you got to go off looking for other victims and survivors. Because when you do that, you wind up falling into these potholes where you get mixed up with the fakes, frauds, and liars. You get mixed up with the paranoid schizophrenics that don't want to be honest and say, yeah, I'm paranoid schizophrenic. I wasn't trafficked, but I'm telling you I was trafficked because that sounds better than just to be honest. And yeah, I'm paranoid schizophrenic. I'm demonically possessed. That hurts. That hurts a lot. Because it's like, okay, you got to know my story, so now it's not good enough and it's boring. You're moving on? Okay. And then what? You go support everybody else and on chopped liver? It's all right. Because Yahusha did not abandon me or forget about me. I think people do that because I don't do sensationalism. I don't change my story. I keep things truthful and plain Jane. Was I talk? Okay, so Ibis. Ibis tells you that you're an angel in a human body. So once you start thinking you're an angel in a human body, you're like, oh, well, I got powers of my own. Oh, well, if I got powers of my own, then I don't need Yahusha. I don't need to submit to him. You start putting yourself on the same level as Yahusha, and you don't belong there. He's the 12th dimension. You don't belong there. But when you start thinking that you're an angel in a human body, it always goes to your head. When you fall down the rabbit hole of chasing genetics, it goes to your head because you're like, oh, this is my blood and my blood is better than everybody else's. I'm better than them. And no, you're not. Abba said, don't chase that stuff. We're to be humble. And that stuff always goes to people's heads. They think being a bloodliner is cool, so they'll stop at nothing to even lie to say that they're a bloodliner. And it's not cool. It's not cool being the serpent seed. What I went through destroyed and ruined my life. I don't get why people try to act like they come from the dumbs too. They try to act like they went through all of this. And I don't understand why people do that. Why can't they be happy with who they are and being a human being? Why are they trying to be the serpent seed bloodline? Why are they trying to be a super soldier? It did not improve my life. Nazi sympathizers have told me that the super soldier projects made me better and stronger. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Look at my life. I don't have in my life what I want. Well, I have everything I want because I have Yahusha. But the plans, how I wanted my life to work out, did not happen that way. I wound up with something better because I have Yahusha, of course. You don't want to be related to demons or Satan. You want to be a child of Yahuwah. You want to be a child of his living light. So, yeah, Bialik, Preston Nichols, they're the bad guys. They're not the good guys. They weren't the victims. They hurt the kids like me. They kidnapped the kids and then tortured them. And all you got, and everybody in the public runs Sal Bialik and Preston Nichols and the others as if they're heroes. They're not heroes. They're the predator pedophiles that hurt the kids to time travel. Even in Preston Nichols' own testimony, he'd always say to you guys, oh, well, you put the victim in the chair. You put the victim in the chair. Preston Nichols was never the victim. I was one of his victims. Anyway, let's enjoy the rest of Al Bialik. I mean, he's just so great and wonderful, right? So let's listen to him. Let's listen to the pedophile, rapist, predator, who I'm so glad, honestly, is dead. I won't dance on his grave, but there's no love loss.
Tesla was given a chip for his full-size tests with crew, and that happened to be a battleship, unknown. But in wartime, apparently, politics has a bit of pull, and the politics coming from the President of the United States, he could probably order the Secretary of the Navy to supply any kind of ship that Tesla wanted, so he got a battleship. The equipment was designed, of course, by Tesla with a lot of work and cooperation, and you might say also a lot of fighting between Tesla and Von Neumann. Tesla was director, Von Neumann was, I guess, assistant. They didn't agree on everything. Von Neumann had a great deal of respect for Tesla's ability, but they didn't agree about everything. Tesla was insisting, as the date approached for the tests on the battleship, the personnel, that they were going to have a very severe problem with personnel. He said flatly, he says, you cannot employ the large amounts of power required to make a ship of this size invisible without having a very disastrous effect on the heads of the people, or the minds, or the bodies of the personnel involved, because we're talking megawatts of power, enormous amounts of power in the coils. Which
yeah, but you guys don't care about that. You only care about your science.
A set of 4 coils mounted on the deck of the ship, specially designed Tesla conical shaped designs. And just interestingly enough, every transformer design ever built by Nikola Tesla was conical, was not round. Round core, it was conically shaped, tapering towards a point at the top. Quite aside from my legal name, which is on my birth certificate of Felix, I was born in 1916, best that I've been able to determine from my own memories and what comes up. 4 August 1916. Was born at
Yeah, you rotten pedophile. Good riddance to you. Buddy, look at this cute little cutie. You're just such a good boy. Just sick and tired of seeing evil patted on the back. The public treats this dude like he's some sort of hero. That's so beyond me. Anyway. So, these are not good people. And the ones affiliated with them, they didn't care about the kids either. They just wanted their science. And he even said it. Navy didn't care about the soldiers or the effects. Just put them through, figure it out later. Who cares if they die now? We'll go get more soldiers. Oh, well, then we'll switch over to using kids. They won't remember. They're just kids. If they die, who cares? We didn't train them. They're somebody else's kids. Who cares? And that's what Montauk was all about. And now they're going to be putting a dome over the U.S. and you get people calling it good. It's not good. It's not good. Everybody thinks, oh, it's going to be an iron dome like Israel has. No, it's not. We're going to have a dome put over us to block the sun. You guys, watch JWTV. Watch JWTV. The kid's on point. Like, really, the kid's on point. That kid's been on fire since he started exposing all of this stuff. JWTV does good work. Tune into him. He talks about how this technology is being used against all of us on a grand mass scale. Don't listen to the TIs. Oh, I'm a targeted individual. The government just wants me. No, the government doesn't want you, and neither do I. This technology is being used on a grand mass scale. The Georgia Guidestone said that the elites want to take us down to 500 million. Well, Yahuwah has different plans. Yahuwah is going to bring us down to 144,000 seals. But even those people died and were resurrected. So all of this stuff is being used on all of us across the world. And it's only going to get worse. And you can thank people like Bielik and Preston Nichols. You can thank yourself for paying your tax dollars. When you're told it starts at home, yes, it does. And you're in control of your wallets. And at any time you can stop your politicians by closing your wallet. Your phone calls and letters obviously aren't working. Your protests and riots don't work worth a pinch of salt. Maybe you should close your wallets and stop using the very thing that makes it possible for all of this to happen. God doesn't need money, so why do you? This world, you could change this world if you stop letting people deter you. Oh, Holly, one person can't change the world. Yeah, actually, one person can change the world. You think you can't. You're running around telling your friends that they can't, so now their friends think they can't. but I don't accept what you're saying. I'm going to go out and change the world. See you later. All right? So, all right, guys. I'm going to let you go. I'm still in my night clothes. I'm not sure what I'm going to do today besides eat. I'm going to bite you back. No, I'm going to shave you. Don't look at me like I'm going to shave you. Yeah, you're overstimulated. Get away from me. So, those were two of the programmers that I had the displeasure of coming into contact with when I was a little kid. And on that note, I'm glad to get it off my chest because I'll tell you what, for a long time, it hurt me. It hurt my feelings. Watching all of you, watching the whole public get carried away with Bielik and Nichols, and they didn't even bat an eyelash at their victims. And I was one of their victims. And I can tell you, it wasn't worth their science. What do you guys need to time travel for? You can't even handle the presents right now. You can't even handle the present. You guys stub your toe and you run to a doctor for a pill. You guys want everything done for you. Anyway, that's off my chest. And I feel a lot better. Because I'm not taking this stuff to my grave. I'm not protecting them anymore. For what? Their science. Because the public likes them. So I had to be tortured because you guys want free energy? I cannot wait for Judgment Day. And yes, people have told me, Holly, you should fear the day of Yahuwah. You shouldn't be looking forward to it. No, I am looking forward to it. Oh, I fear Yahusha and what he can do. I have respect and reverence. I'm saying that all wrong. I have a healthy fear of the Lord, of Yahusha, but I'm not scared of him. I'm not scared of his wrath. I know it's not aimed at me. I've already gotten right in him and with him. I've already died and he resurrected me. And every day I refresh, renew, repent, and rededicate myself to him. Every day, every night, sometimes 4 times a day, 14 times a day. Satan roams around like a lion waiting to devour us. And I'm not going to give him an opportunity. And that's why I live a life of repentance. And that's why I have the lifestyle I do. So, yeah. So I had to suffer so you guys could tamper around with this kind of science. And in the end, you guys still don't have any free energy. So thanks a lot for nothing.